This is Vox Frustrati, a voice for progressives everywhere. Today we feature an article entitled Demand from a correspondent who wishes to remain anonymous. Welcome. This is Vox Frustrati version 9.1%. Unemployment hits the working class hard officially. Unofficially, it's much worse, counting U3 and U6, adding up to the aforementioned foreclosure crisis. It remains unhampered. It will be worse than before. Problems remain for the working poor. They can afford no more rent. They spent their lives underwater. They're merely fodder for the owner class, laughing in their boardrooms where bar none no one really gives a rat's ass. Here we are, a sad state of affairs. The politicians don't really care. We thought we elected someone who truly did. He wouldn't dare take a principled stand on anything. Or maybe he has, undercover, another backroom deal like monopolistic insurance reform. Consider yourself forewarned as costs continue to rise. I despise the oligarchy steering this sinking ship behind closed doors. There's a war on the poor, and it's not on poverty itself. 1984 pulled straight from the shelf. In stealth, I warn this oligarchy is bad for your health. Righteous anger is the elixir. America's broken. How do we fix her? Demand. Demand. Those in power care about demand, not supply, demand. We say Say's law is a demonstrable lie. Why? Supply does not create its own demand. It never has and it never will. And yet, still, there's almost $2 trillion hoarded away by the business community with perpetual impunity. Without demand in our economy, it will stay, and we will never have our economic say. Only demand will push that capital our way, creating jobs in this jobs crisis today. Consumption, what's your function? Sustainable aggregate demand, demand that does not escape to the foreign market where no labour or environmental standards reside. We only confide in domestic sustainable aggregate demand so capital doesn't outgo. Ergo, it flows right here. These are our demands. We demand an end to the endless wars. We demand our civil liberties back from the Patriot Act and more. We demand accountability for the war criminals of the Bush administration. We demand a look back for the good of this nation. We demand the Democratic Party return to the real Democratic Party platform. If these demands are not met, be forewarned. That concludes our correspondent's remarks. Vox notes Frederick Douglass's famous remark that power concedes nothing without a demand. It never did, and it never will. And David Dayen points out that businesses are investing in capital for the future, but aren't hiring for the simple reason that they don't have enough customers. And the idea that making business costs cheaper in the hope that businesses will then hire rather than pocket the money simply won't fly. Because, as our correspondent points out, it is a problem of demand, not supply. Demonstrate and demand. Demand, or the demagogues will dissimulate and deny, defer the development of a deal. They'll dispassionately damn those on the dole to despair and despond, to discomfort and desolation, to doubt and distress, to destitution and disaster, while dunder-headed Dems, derelict in their duty, desert them. Demand or die. Demand, demand, demand.